Frank26 reveals new rates. Dinar, Iraqi 5.66, Dong, 4.75, IQD and VND breaking news. With the intro for your channel RV News, written in paragraph format without headings, welcome back to RV News, your number one source for breaking news, analysis, and real-time updates surrounding the global currency revaluation movement. If you're holding Iraqi Dinar or Vietnamese Dong, or you're just interested in what's really happening behind the scenes, you're in the right place. Here on RV News, we dig deep into credible intel, high-level chatter, and everything the mainstream media won't tell you. So, if you're part of the global community closely watching the IQD and VND, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe to stay updated, and turn on all notifications so you never miss a thing. Now, today's report is nothing short of explosive. Frank26 has just dropped what may be the most jaw-dropping intel of 2025, a new rate for the Iraqi Dinar at 5.66 and the Vietnamese Dong at 4.75. Let's break it all down in detail piece by piece and examine what this means for you and the world at large. Frank26, one of the most widely recognized voices in the dinar community, has once again set the RV world ablaze with his latest revelations. Known for his deep connections and consistent updates, Frank isn't one to release rates lightly. According to his recent video briefing and behind-the-scenes conversations, he has confirmed, based on privileged military and banking intel, that both the Iraqi Dinar and the Vietnamese Dong have had their new international rates approved, confirmed, and are allegedly on the verge of being made public. What's shocking is not just the confirmation, but the specific values: $5.66 for the dinar and $4.75 for the dong. If accurate, these figures represent an unprecedented shift in global economics and wealth distribution. For years, the idea of the Iraqi dinar revaluing significantly was seen as a speculative dream by some and a calculated strategic play by others. But let's look at why a rate of 5.66 for the IQD might not be as far-fetched as it sounds. Iraq, a country rich in oil reserves, has been making major economic reforms behind the scenes. Their move toward a digital economy, partnerships with global banking institutions, and steps toward joining the World Trade Organization all point to a re-entry into the global financial arena. According to Frank26, these reforms have reached a pivotal point. He suggests that Iraq is now fully asset-backed, with its currency supported by both oil and gold reserves, giving it the strength to support a rate far higher than the old program. Rate of 1,190 IQD to the dollar. Frank stated that military and treasury insiders have been reporting that Iraq has successfully completed all necessary steps under the guidance of international monetary authorities to initiate a revaluation. The new economic architecture is designed for transparency, fiscal responsibility, and long-term sustainability. He even went as far as to claim that certain back-end banking systems are already operating with the new rate internally, and it's only a matter of time before it goes public. And according to his sources, that time could be sooner than anyone expects, possibly within days. But the dinar isn't the only story here. The Vietnamese Dong, long believed to be a sleeper currency in the revaluation space, is now also making headlines. At 4.75 to the dollar, the VND is being positioned as one of the most undervalued currencies on the planet, about to correct massively. Vietnam's economy has been booming quietly for years, becoming a global manufacturing powerhouse and attracting foreign investments from every corner of the globe. Combine that with their low inflation, high reserves, and strategic partnerships with both Western nations and Asian economic blocs, and you've got the perfect conditions for a significant currency adjustment. Frank26 has said that just like Iraq, Vietnam has been working behind closed doors to prepare its financial system for integration into the global asset-backed monetary system. According to the intel he's shared, the Vietnamese central bank has already coordinated with global financial authorities, and their digital currency mechanisms are ready to go live. The rate of $4.75 would not just reflect Vietnam's true economic value, but also position it as a major player in the new global economy. This information isn't being shared lightly. Frank26 emphasized that multiple layers of confirmation have come in, He described recent meetings held between U.S. Treasury officials, international financial entities, and both Iraq and Vietnam. The consensus? The revaluation is real, the rates are locked, and announcements are imminent. He also hinted that redemption centers across the U.S. have been given green light status and are on full operational standby. Staff have been notified. Tier 1 banks are already seeing rate placeholders in their internal systems, and certain high-level individuals have allegedly been allowed to pre-exchange at the confirmed rates, 5.66 and 4.75 respectively. But let's not stop there. According to Frank, the U.S. government has a vested interest in seeing this RV through successfully. Not only would it stimulate the domestic economy by injecting liquidity through exchanges, but it would also restore confidence in a new financial system that's asset-backed and transparent. Remember, this is part of a much larger global reset, moving away from fiat systems and toward currencies backed by real value like oil, minerals, agriculture, and even digital assets. This is about reshaping the entire foundation of global finance. One of the more intriguing parts of Frank's update involved the psychological and strategic importance of timing. He believes that the announcement of these new rates may coincide with certain political or economic events, possibly even being used to stabilize markets or distract from geopolitical turmoil. Either way, he remains firm that the new rates are real, have been approved, and are ready to be released at any moment. He reiterated that currency holders should be prepared, organized, calm, and informed, because the opportunity to exchange may come with very little notice. He also addressed one of the biggest concerns within the community. Will these rates be available to the public or just to elites and private groups? According to Frank, the plan is to make the rates available across multiple tiers, with Tier 4B, which includes most individual currency holders, having access shortly after the initial Tier 1 and Tier 2 redemptions. Redemption centers will allegedly be offering special contract rates, especially for those exchanging large volumes or who are part of humanitarian or infrastructure projects. But even at the street level, Frank insists that banks are being positioned to exchange at these baseline international rates of 5.66 and 4.75 dollars. He also provided guidance on how to be ready, have your currency authenticated, your paperwork in order, and your exchange strategy mapped out. Know whether you're going to exchange in a redemption center or a Tier 1 bank, and be aware of any possible taxes or non-disclosure agreements, NDAs, that might be involved. He strongly encouraged holders to stay plugged into trusted sources, not rumors, but verified channels like RV News for any changes or updates. And of course, no major intel drop would be complete without addressing the doubters and skeptics. Frank was very clear. The revaluation movement has always attracted naysayers. People who don't understand the depth of global financial realignment, who dismiss it as conspiracy or fantasy, simply haven't been paying attention. He pointed to the silent moves made by central banks, the adjustments in SWIFT and QFS systems, and the gradual rollout of FedNow and instant settlement systems in the U.S. as proof that the old financial system is being dismantled and replaced. The revaluation is not a myth. It's a necessary evolution of monetary policy, and these new rates are just the beginning. It's also important to note that Frank26 has urged everyone to stay grounded. As exciting as these rates are, and as massive as the potential gains might be, this is a once-in-a-lifetime financial event that needs to be handled with wisdom, discretion, and humility. He reminded viewers that sudden wealth can be a blessing or a curse, depending on how it's managed. Now is the time to start thinking not just about how much money you might receive, but how you will use it to improve your life, your community, and your legacy. So where does this leave us? If Frank26's intel is accurate, and he's rarely been this specific or confident, it means we are in the final moments before a global financial transformation. The revaluation of the IQD and VND at 5.66 and 4.75 respectively is no longer a distant dream. It's an imminent reality. Whether you're holding millions in dinar or just a modest amount of dong, the potential life-changing impact is undeniable. The key is to stay alert, be prepared, and remain calm. Things are moving fast, and you do not want to be caught off guard when the notifications start rolling in. At RV News, we will be covering every angle of this historic event. As always, we promise to deliver clear, factual, and timely updates, without the hype or drama. Our mission is to keep you informed and empowered, so you can make the best possible decisions as events unfold. So don't forget to subscribe, like, and share this video with others in the community. Your support helps keep this channel alive and thriving. In closing, Frank26 has delivered what may be the most powerful update in the history of the RV movement. The rates, 5.66 for the Iraqi Dinar and 4.75 for the Vietnamese Dong, are not just numbers. They are signals that the long-awaited R